Hi guys, hello Ryu players and non-Ryu players if you dumped him, which would be completely understandable. However, we're going to talk about the meta game, basically the overall strategy of where the game is heading and how we fit into that as Ryu players until Sagat gets put in the game, obviously. But I think I've got a few ideas that are kind of becoming more concrete as I play on and I watch other players. As you know, our Messiah Diego has went to Guile, and rightfully so. If it was my job to play fighting games, I would not play Rio. That's a no-brainer, and I think you'd be hard pushed to find anyone that would argue with that. I think the reason that we're playing him is because we enjoy the character somehow, and he has some things that we like, and we've probably put a lot of practice in with him too. You got to remember, we're casual players. I'm assuming most of you guys are casual players. I go to a few offline events now and again, but yeah, it's hard when you've put a lot of work in. You want to stick with your man, you know. So I think we're going to talk about the evolution of Ryu. I think season 2 overall is not a great season. I think that's a general underlying feeling that I get. I watch a few videos, watch a lot of things on Twitter, YouTube, player interviews. The general thought consensus is there's just something not quite sitting right about season 2, and I think we as Ryu players are really at the bottom of that pile. Not because he's the worst character in the game. I mean, he's probably not that far off, but I think just because what we have in comparison to what other characters have is quite weak. And that's a big part of the strategy that I'm going to talk about. So today we're going to look at a player called Sasaki. He's an old Cody player. I think he's the premier Ryu player now. He's probably the only Ryu player now that's worth watching. But I think the way that he plays the game is the way that I am trying to play the game, and the way that I think the game works. Basically, sorry if I'm rambling a bit, guys. This is going to be a long video. If you don't like me talking, if you just like snappy information, this is not the video for you. This is going to be my brain pouring out into a video. So we're going to look at him, and I posted something on the SRK forums last week, and it was a post about how I had a sort of epiphany on the toilet where I do most of my thinking, about how I think Ryu should be played, and in general how the game I think works. So I compared it to a game of poker. I used to play a lot of poker when I was not young, probably a few years ago. I was actually quite good at poker. I won a few tournaments and won a bit of money. I gave it up. I decided it was a kind of mugs game, and you were at a loss. And I'm also kind of a family man, so probably not a good hobby to have. But the similarities between poker and Street Fighter are quite close. There's a lot of skill involved in poker, but there's also a little bit of luck. I think Street Fighter at the minute, or fighting games in general, you could describe them like that. There's a definite strategy of what you're doing, but there's also luck. But this one particular player, poker player called Phil Hellmuth, you probably know who I'm talking about if you follow poker. If you don't, it doesn't matter, but I'll describe to you. His style is what is called super tight, and that means that he tries to play poker in a way where he is trying to eliminate the lucky part of poker by only playing stronger hands. Now obviously you don't always get dealt stronger hands in poker, or strong hands, so sometimes you have to bluff, but his way of playing allows him to bluff, because if you only play tight all the time, then when you do play, people think you have a good hand, and that's where the bluff comes in. So why does this matter in Street Fighter? Well, I think that playing Ryu super tight defensively, then attacking when you have a chance, is the way to play him. I think Daigo was right. He just didn't managed to implement it well because of the character. I want to say, I mean, Daigo's obviously a very, very good player, and he was, I think, people are saying he's washed out and stuff, but he's definitely, there's definitely a character choice there that is affecting him, you know, especially now, not so much in season 1, where he did do quite well. But this super tight, I think what we're going to see, and I'll show you a video, is that you want to minimize the amount of times that you're leaving things to chance, especially if you are in a marginal situation. Now, as Ryu, we are always in a marginal situation. Our buttons are poor, they don't reach far. Our main poke has a long startup. Lots of characters have better chances of stuffing our moves than we do of stuffing their moves. I don't think anybody would disagree with me on that. He does have some powerful tools, Dragon Punch, Fireball, but the Fireball, this is a big part of it too. So basically, I think this tight defense, I think that's the way forward. People were saying Takedo, Ryu, aggressive. What are we going to attack people with? Have a think about that for a second. With Season 2 Ryu, or even Season 2.1 Ryu, when he gets a couple of things back, what are you going to do to rush someone down other than dash up, do a meaty, dash up, do a throw, do a couple of shimmies? You're not going to do anything different than any other character in the game, are you? So why would you pick Ryu to do that thing when you could pick any other character that's probably does it better? So I think defensive, tight Ryu, this is the way we play. We play tight. We defend. We don't throw pokes out into the void where they're going to get crush countered. Random crush counter, random EX move, random this, random. The game has a lot of random in it, and I think we want to avoid the randomness. And I don't think fighting fire with fire is the way to do that. I think that the waiting on people making mistakes is the way to play Ryu, and capitalizing on your pressure when you do get a chance. Anyway, well, I think I'll make this into a more of a series. I've already talked for bloody 7 minutes about this, and I feel like I could talk about it for an hour. But we'll look at this video, and this is Sasaki versus Birdie, and Birdie, as you know, he's a very tricky character to play against. He's got extremely good normals. I feel like this matchup is a really extreme example of what I'm talking about, and that's why I've chosen this matchup, because I feel like this super tight style that I want to, I guess, elaborate on and grow on over the next couple of months, or however long I'd run with this. I think the player, is playing that style, and also this match is representative of what he's doing. So let's have a look, and I'll talk you through the match, and I'll tell you little pointers that if you're a good player, you'll know, but if you're not, they probably look like things that wouldn't even you wouldn't even notice. But when you start to study the game, you're like, that's why he did that, and that's why he jumped there. So let's have a look. So this is the man you want to be watching. His name is Sasaki. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and someone can correct me if I'm not. But he plays a very defensive Ryu. He knows his frame data. He knows he's very good at hit confirming. He has good reactions. I think those are the two things in Street Fighter V you need. You need good reactions, and you need good frame data knowledge. If you don't have those things, you're always going to struggle in this game, and that might be bad news for some people. But I want you to watch how quiet he is at the mid-range. Really, really quiet. It's like he's almost camped there, just waiting on something happening. But what he's doing, he's minimizing his risk. So again, going back to the poker talk, he's not throwing out buttons to just get counter hit comboed, because all Birdie's options are longer than Ryu's. And again, extreme example, but very good example for this theory that I'm talking about. So let's watch the match, and I'll describe to you what's happening. Okay, round one fight. Now, right away he's into crouch block, not doing much. He eats a little dash up there, that's okay, that's just an error. Notice how quiet he is. He gets his anti-air because he's quiet. He doesn't want to push anything because he's going to lose. A couple of fireballs here, and then what happens? Now I'm going to pause it there because that jump's important, and these jumps will become more apparent on this style as the longer we go on. But the reason he jumps there is not to actually hit Birdie at all. He is looking for the block stun of the jump, and he misses it. That's why he gets command grabbed on the other side. But he's not. That's not an attacking jump. That's actually a spacing, almost a defensive jump. He just wants to be away from the corner. That is the only reason he jumped there. You know, he wasn't really trying to land damage. So that's something that we're going to see as we go on, that jumping over the opponent doesn't always mean you're going for a cross-up combo. It's just purely a spacing jump to get away from the bad space. In Street Fighter 5, you die in the corners. So let's move on. So we follow on here a bit. He does a bad sweep there. DP again. Notice, no buttons. Yeah, that's hard to stop that move, the EX grab. DP again. Medium kick. Notice how few things Sasaki is doing. But the Birdie player has almost pushed treble the amounts of things than I reckon Sasaki's done. Maybe 9 things. That sweep into DP is brilliant, and we'll pause it again there for a good reason. When he sweeps there, he's ready to. He cancels the last frames of the sweep into the DP. But the important thing to notice is, like, look at the life bars, okay? The Birdie player has pushed a million buttons, done lots of different things, jumps, and Sasaki's done about 8 or 9 actions in an entire half of a round, which of 4 of them I think are DPs, and the life bar indicates that he is ahead. Do you see where I'm going with this? Like, he would have lost a lot more health had he been trying to interact with the Birdie player there. So it's amazing really when you think how little he has done and how the health bars look, and that's something to remember, that he's a very inactive character, Ryu. But let's not ramble, let's move on. So we follow on. He gets a bit more aggressive here, but Birdie obviously activates the V trigger, which is a kind of get out free. Notice the Birdie player jumps over there, exactly the same thing. He doesn't want to be in the corner either. Jumps out of the grab there. Ideally you want to punish that grab at least with a DP, if not a crush counter, but this is probably an online match. DP again, so we've probably landed 5 DPs. I would have V-reversaled that EX headbutt there, I just would have, and he misses his chance to win the round here with a crouching medium kick. Gets the one hit, does not cancel into the fireball, and the EX grab, the old classic. I think probably you would want to expect that that's going to happen there. Quick glance at the EX meter would suggest that Birdie is going to go for a Hail Mary. That is this game in a nutshell. Probably, you know, that's not any other time he probably would have realised that. I don't think that, I'm not saying Sasaki should have dealt with it. It's a hard move to deal with, but yeah, I think when you're down to the bare bones of life, you want to expect the opponent to crack, and he did there. So he could have easily neutral jumped that or backdashed. But anyway, next round. So round 2 fight, he doesn't get disheartened with his loss, and you should never. It is possible to play well and lose. He keeps doing the same thing here. You know, he's staying at that range, not pushing buttons. There's not tangoing with Birdie really. He's just going to say, I'm just going to wait till you fuck up. There's the fuck up. What a great punish that is. Dashing after the chains, highly negative 1 block. And now he gets aggressive. He's playing his strong hand, taking advantage of his corner positioning. And here we go. We're at about half life. Great punish with the EX dash up. We'll pause it about here where we see one of Ryu's great nerfs there. Isn't that annoying? And we'll hopefully get that fixed in season 2.1. So what he's done there is he went for a crouching medium punch and tried to connect the standing light kick, but it does not connect because of the nerf, which is really shit. But we are getting that standing light kick back. So Birdie activates V-trigger, gets a grab, but Sasaki doesn't panic. Again, you see him try to escape the corner here, but Birdie's standing medium kick catches him there. This is unlucky. Bang. We'll talk about that. He saw the neutral jump, tried to punish it, but can't because he doesn't have the tools. I wish the HPDP just had a bit of a range across the screen. A bit like, not, I mean, it wouldn't have to be as extreme as Sagat's Tiger Uppercut. But, yeah, I wish there's an HPDP at the minute, I feel, is wasted in the game. It's a useless special move, apart from ending the combos when you combo from lights. Because medium punch and light punch DP set up meaty attacks, whereas HP DP doesn't give you as much frame advantage. I can go through that in a separate video, but yeah, he just gets a bit unlucky there, eats a crush counter. And again, moving on, bad spot, gets a really lucky jump there and has the resources to finish off Birdie. There was a tinge of luck there, but you need luck. But he was just trying to escape the corner. He just didn't want to deal with that corner situation, and it worked for him. So yeah, let's move on to round 3. Round 3 gets a bit more hectic, but you will see these spacing jumps happen again about mid-round. Eats the EX grab, that's okay. It's quite hard to react to that move. The nerf happens there again. He goes for the crouching medium punch light kick. Bad fireball. It's not the best tool, is it? This is a great grab. I like that grab. And I don't know why the Birdie player grabs here. Side switches himself with a Tatsu, then tries to correct it and does. Both of those jumps are for the spacing, like we talked about in the first round. He just wants to be on the other side of Birdie. And again, it's imperative that you try not to corner yourself before you even get to the corner. So remember that. You see him buffer here, there. He's actually buffered a Tatsu behind the medium kick, but Birdie is crouched, so the Tatsu whiffs. You see him do that another time in this match. What he's doing is he's buffering the crouch and medium kick into the special, so he gets the 2-in-1. Just doesn't work that time. Gets punished. I think he parries that can and misses. You see the counter hit come up, but he does it this time. That's really smart, and that's what you should do against that can. This neutral jump's real lucky, and the awareness there to chip him out with the super is really good. So he got slightly more aggressive there. A lot of that round was Sasaki knowing his frame data and how to deal with the Birdie match. Little things like parrying the can. The other thing you can do is walk up and block the can. Don't back away. That's what the Birdie player wants you to do there. But yeah, good stuff. Okay, one more match, guys. This is Guile. Very difficult match for Rio. Probably up there with his hardest, if not the hardest. Guile's zoning and offense is very good. That's why he's a top tier character. It's not just because he can zone, it's because he has that offensive part of his game. With the upside down kick, absolutely blows up techs for big damage, and of course his awesome V trigger, which is so much better than ours. But in this match, before we have a look at it, I want you, this is a little bit of matchup advice for the Guile matchup. Do not get involved in fireball wars with this Guile in this game. You're wasting your time. You're just leaving. You're trying to match Guile. He has a better fireball. He has better anti-airs. You're going to get jumped on, and this is the reason to be quiet. There's a much higher chance of Guile jumping on you than you jumping on Guile. Because his booms recover faster. Dump the fireball wars, don't even entertain it. What you want to do is play this tight style and move forward on him and get into a range where you will stuff the startup of booms with normals, and it makes him hesitant to throw the booms. That in turn opens up chances to jump on him or dash in. That's the basics of the match. When the changes were announced in Season 2, everyone was like, whoa, parry, you get more meter build. You'll be able to parry lots of sonic booms and build up your V-trigger and the Guile match will be okay. No, Why would that be okay? I'll show you right now in the training room why parrying booms is a bad idea. Okay, we're into the match, and immediately you can see he's doing a couple of parries because he is at that range. He's not trying. That isn't the strategy. He isn't trying to do that. He wants to be close, and if you're close, you can't parry the boom. So already he's gained ground on Guile. Notice he hasn't thrown any fireballs yet. He's not bothering with that. There's no point. You're not going to match Guile. That's a bad tech. Do not tech against Guile. We'll pause it there. Don't tech against Guile at mid-screen. The amount of times he's probably going to do that upside down kick is more than he's going to throw, and even if he throws you the forward throw, he doesn't get any more pressure off the forward throw. I think he gets a dash up meaty, but yeah, just take the mid-screen throw against Guile. So we move on. He eats a tick throw here and he gets himself cornered, but he V-triggers himself out. He gets his free sweep, and notice how much space he makes back. Throwing Guile is a very good strategy because a lot of players, not just Guile players, a lot of players in general will take Ryu's throws because there's no pressure after the throw, so they think themselves, just exactly what I just said to you about taking Guile's throw. A lot of people will just take the mid-screen throw, so remember that. And notice now, even in V-trigger, he is not entertaining fireball wars, even with the kick-ass fireballs. He's sticking to the plan. This is a great counter hit, confirm. I can't actually do that one with the DP, that's really good. And look where we are, Guile's cornered now. He takes the grab here. That's a smart take, and that one, because he's waiting on the DP, the upside down kick. I gotta say though, as a ballsy as fuck DP at the end, Guile could have blocked there. But you know, fuck it, you gotta take a chance sometime. This round again, the next round follows similar pattern. No fireball wars. He's not interested. He's just trying to shut that distance down and get into Guile's zone where he's going to be thinking twice about throwing booms. Takes the throw, that's okay, that's what I'd recommend. Again, moving forward, no fireball wars, gets a bit counter poked there. That's an alright jump. I probably would have jumped there too. It felt like it was a good spot to jump. Gets a couple of counter hits, just gets a bit scrappy in here, but that's the game, sometimes gets a bit scrappy. Again, Guile anti-airs, and here's the benefits of being able to freeze the screen. You get a hit confirm, super. So yeah, big damage, but that's alright. The good thing about that is Guile has now lost his entire meter bar and Sasaki has nearly filled his. If you go into round 3 with this situation, always be confident that you've probably got a big advantage. Okay, moving on to round 3. Again, the number I think of raw fireballs he's thrown is 0, and you'll notice he's only throwing a fireball if he can cancel it off of a normal. He's not leaving himself open to that jumping. Again, just try to close that gap. Eats the jump in there, stuffs the upside down kick, that was good. Eats a couple of anti-airs here with impatient jumps there. Jump back tech, I think beats the upside down kick more than likely. These EX fireballs here, sorry cut off, they're just purely to bully space back, and that's something that I do a lot too as a player. If I've got a bit of meter, I'll just say, nah fuck it, I'll EX fireball. Even if it gets blocked 2 times, you're getting that screen push back, which is really valuable, and also it's just generally a really good EX move. He does get his jump in here, and you do have to take a chance on Guile, especially after those V-trigger fireballs. They've always want to attack. Now I'll pause it here, and I want you to look at something. After he hits this combo, he dashes up, and this is something that you will only see if you're paying close attention to the minute details of the game. It would probably to anyone not aware would just look like a same situation that would happen normally. But when he dashes up, this is not a meaty. He delays his standing medium punch just a fraction. I can see this on the screen, and you'll be able to see it now that I've mentioned it to you. And if you're a good player, you'll know already what I'm talking about. But he's protecting against the reversal. He sees that Guile has EX bar, he knows that flash kick is a likely situation, and he just delays it a touch. The resulting pressure after doesn't work, but it's such a smart thing to do, and basically comes under baiting. But just a slight delay, they're the minute things, the small details that will elevate your game from just autopilot and getting flash kicked to blocking that flash kick but still getting a bit of pressure. Just to finalise that setup, I think he probably wanted stand medium, crouch fierce, EX fireball, which sets up a frame trap, because EX fireball is +2, which means you get a free throw or another standard medium punch, but he's fucked the input. The reason I think that is because that happens to me sometimes too. Sometimes I'll slightly miss the 2 buttons. I use the 2 buttons, not the 3, the button that does the 3 buttons, because there's no reason he would do a single cancelled fireball from that close. He knows that is bad news. I just think, yeah, he just missed the EX fireball there, but that would have been a great setup. So he eats a bunch of EX meter for his tribbles. Awesome stop on the overhead there. Gets lucky with the reset, and here he backdashes in. It's basically an advanced shimmy. Now the reason Guile techs there is because after the Tatsu, that's a true meaty throw setup. So he's expecting Ryu to go for the throw meaty setup. So he's done a delay tech. He's slightly delayed his tech, but in that time, Sasaki has backdashed into the low Tatsu for the win. Now I think if he was real ballsy, the Guile player could have flash kicked the backdash. I'm not sure, but I think from memory, Guile's flash kick catches Ryu's backdash, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, that's the reason why that worked, because after the Tatsu, it's a true meaty throw setup where Ryu has the advantage, and the Guile player has just delayed his tech. So great match, and that's how you deal with the Guile match in a nutshell, really. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've made it this far, holy shit, I commend you. You're probably the type of person that actually wants to get better at fighting games and is not just trying to make LP in ranked. Well done. We'll make a few more of these, and I'll elaborate on this super tight. It's such a big topic. I honestly think I could write a bloody book on it. And you know what, I might be wrong, but I think I'm onto something. I think I'm going to persist with this, and we'll see where we go. Catch you next time, guys.